to the unwritten life. I haven't done much with the puzzle. I did collect some pieces, or like looked through and looked at some pieces, but I haven't been able to do much because, well, weather has been happening. It's been raining, so the lighting, as usual, looks better on camera than in real life. Good for picture, bad for me being able to do the puzzle because it makes it harder to see. So I, as usual, almost now, have not been doing a lot of puzzle. I haven't been doing any puzzle without you, except like I was digging around trying to find some pieces, which is not always easy. They all get like, it's hard to look through and figure out what is what. But what I have been doing is actually I went to see my parents to do our regular Christmas or pre-Christmas tradition. So that was good. And I also, well, tried to get some tips and tricks about some things, and a lot of things happened. Not much really till together, except that the Christmas tradition we do have is, I had to look it up. I think it's called porridge or rice porridge. It's a tradition because in Norway we don't give Santa like milk and cookies. Our old Santa was always getting porridge in the barn, like in the olden times. I've never lived anywhere with a barn, and I'm not gonna put porridge out for Santa, but our Christmas tradition or pre-Christmas tradition is to gather the whole family, and then we exchange gifts that are not to be opened that day, obviously, because it's not Christmas yet. You only open Christmas presents on Christmas Eve. Yes, you open the Christmas present on Christmas Eve. The evening on 24th. That is when Christmas presents are to be opened. At least where I come from. I understand that there are different people in different parts of the world that has weird tradition of opening them in the morning, which is crazy. You need to have a good dinner before you open presents, so you can really feel the heaviness of the food when you open the presents, so it goes really slow. I don't think that's why it's done that way, but it is done in such a way, so that is part of the tradition. But the tradition in my family that I wanted to tell you about is the porridge. That might seem weird. Point is, we gather all the family, except now that a lot of people are grown up and they have their own lives and they have kids and they have jobs and they have like Christmas table. It's a thing, the Christmas party. They usually go on Friday or Saturday evening if you have a job, and there's a lot of alcohol involved, so most people are exhausted. But so some family members do that, so they don't come to our regular Christmas tradition. So I guess it's not that much of a regular Christmas tradition for all of them anymore. For me, it still is. How long that's gonna go on? Well, considering the fact that fewer and fewer people are coming, it's about to die a slow death, I think. Unfortunately, because our family are not like a tight-knit family that spends all the time together. So I think that's a little sad. I wish we as like a family, big family, were better at spending time together, but well, we're not. So it is what it is. But it does mean that it is very nice when we do get together, but we don't get together that much anymore. So, yeah, it is what it is. This puzzle is hard, and the pieces do not stick together because they have like weird shapes. Can you see? You can't see properly. Hold on. Can you see? Weird shapes, a lot of them. That makes it hard to like move things around, but also it's a hard puzzle. Let's be real here. This is a hard puzzle. I'm struggling a lot, which is why it's taking forever. Not actually forever. I will at some point finish it, but it feels like it's taking forever. Me refusing to look at the picture is definitely playing a part in that one. I get it. Maybe I should look at the picture, but I don't really want to. So, for now, it's gonna take time. A lot of time. So yeah, I was spending time with family doing, or at least some of the family, doing the Christmas tradition that some people have started to skip. Can you tell I'm a little disappointed in them? I wish they would keep going, because that's mostly the only time I see parts of the family. So, I would have liked to see them more occasionally, but I don't. Also, we live not that far away from each other, but at the same time, I moved further away from everyone, so that's on me. I know, that is definitely on me, not anyone else. Can't blame them for that. That would be very, very not nice. But yeah, so we gather the people that are there, we eat the porridge, and then in the porridge, or I should say, we don't put the mandel. Oh my god. I should have looked that word up. It's a nut in a way, but it's not like a hazelnut, but it's kind of a sweeter little oval shaped point in one end. Man, I totally should have looked that word up. Okay, I didn't. So it's sort of a nut that we put not in the porridge, but we put it on the plates, and then we fill the plates with the porridge, and then we divide the plates out around the table, and then it's the first one to find the nut that gets to pick the presents on the table. We always have several of the nuts, but the first one that gets it gets to pick from the presents. It's not presents, it's candy. It's usually, for some years, there were no marzipan, and I like marzipan, so I was always a little sad because the chocolate ain't that good. But it's usually a marzipan peg and then a few small chocolates. So you get to choose and pick and choose which one you want if you get the first nut. And then the second one who finds the nut gets to pick second. And this year, because you don't always get one. When I was a kid, the kids always got one. But I'm an adult now. We're basically all adults now, so no one gets to be sure to, as a kid, we got the deal. As long as you were a kid, you always got one. But now we're not kids. You're not guaranteed, so you're not guaranteed a winning, so to speak. And, it's okay. And also, who doesn't like to win? So everyone wants it. And it's a little bit of a eating competition almost, because in the beginning, until you find the nuts, and then you can relax and enjoy the meal after you found the nut, because a plate only contains one nut. Except that 1 year. We learned a lot that 1 year. We learned a lot that 1 year. Because 1 year, we made a slight change. A slight change we will never ever make again. because as I said, we have learned. And we still talk about that pretty much every time. Because it was such, I wouldn't say epic disaster, but kind of. It was, that year was a bit of a hot mess when it came to the nut in the porridge. And just, yeah. I'm not saying it wasn't a good year. It was. It was just, things went a little sideways. So I figured I'd share that story with you guys. And then you can tell me if your family have any like family traditions like that before Christmas. Because it's obviously still before Christmas. And I totally should have brought something to drink, but I didn't. So we might hear some more coughing. That will be annoying for me. And this puzzle is gonna frustrate me until I finish. So I might do a little bit without you, but you know. Okay, back to the story. I'm trying to keep on track. It's pretty much impossible. And also, like, this puzzle, back to the story. Frustrating puzzle. Very, oh, I think the sun is coming out. Oh, that's good. It was raining really heavily this morning to the point where I'm like, will we have to swim? That's what it felt like, judging by the sounds of the rain. And we tried to go back to the story again. It's a little hard. If you've been following me for any length of time, you probably know this. So, right. This one year, because when you wake, oh, another word I don't know, kransekake. It's kind of similar to marzipan, but you don't take the brown stuff from the outside of the nut off the nut. When you make marzipan, there are apparently a lot of words I probably should have looked up. The nut has a brown cover that you can eat, no problem. But if you make marzipan, you take the brown cover off, which is a whole process, not fun, takes a long time. But, you know, you would get marzipan at the end, so it's totally worth it at the same time. But this one year, we had done that with the nuts. So the brown stuff was off, and then they're, you know, bleak and white and, you know, quite colorless. And as I said, nowadays we put the nut, still with the brown cover, in the plates and then put the porridge on top. Because that one year, we ate a lot. And I mean a lot. Because someone, I don't remember whether it was our house or my aunt's house, but the point is, someone had decided to use the nuts that was without the brown cover, instead of putting it in the plates, put it in the pot when we were making the porridge. That is not recommended, because when you do that, and then you make the porridge, and then you put the porridge on the plate and everyone eats and are really excited to find the nuts so they could be the first one to pick, and everyone is eating the porridge and the plate is empty, and it's like, dang, it wasn't me that got it. And then people kept finishing and not finding the nuts. Because it turns out, if you put the nuts in the porridge and then you make the porridge and put it on the plate, the nuts are gone. They're disappeared. They're dissolved into nothingness. And I say that confidently because we finished eating the first round and then we took more, hoping to find the nuts. Kept eating. I don't think there has ever been so little left of the porridge, because they always make too much to make sure that you have enough. But I don't think there has ever been so little porridge left. And still no nuts found. What you do with the porridge when you can't eat it all You make it into something else later. And even then, no nuts. Absolutely nowhere to be found. So yes, those nuts did dissolve in the porridge. So we have learned to not put the nuts in the porridge. The nuts goes with the brown cover in the plates and then get porridge on top of it. That is how you know you will find the nuts, because there is color and they haven't dissolved in the heat. So this year I was number 2 to find the nut, and there was one marzipan pig and the rest was the chocolate that I'm not all that crazy about. And I was like, oh, I really want the marzipan pig. I don't want the chocolate. But I was number 2, so, you know, I was number 2 for choosing. So I mean, I still had hope. Not big hopes, but I had hopes. And guess what? It actually worked. The one that got the first nut picked the biggest chocolate. And I was like, yes! I get to get the marzipan pig. So I did, and it was really good. It had a chocolate cover, and it was just, oh, yes. I do love those. I don't think I would have loved them as much if I were eating them a lot, but I generally only eat 1 or 2 for Christmas. So, you know, that makes them special. That makes them good. If I had to eat a lot of them, I mean, because they're store-bought ones, and I definitely prefer homemade marzipan. It is so much better. But, you know, in those cases where you get that like one thing, that one time a year, and yeah, I know I can buy them, but only at Christmas. It's not the same. It's something about winning and then eating your winnings, and they're so good. So yeah, I got what I wanted, so I was very happy about that. And as I said, we have learned we are never to put the nuts in the porridge. It is always going in the plates, because if you don't, they disappear. We've learned. And that is a story we talk about every single year where we meet up for Christmas. So I guess you could say it became part of tradition unintentionally. But I mean, it works. It's a good tradition. It gathers the family, or at least the ones that are not going to a Christmas party or not going to work, or simply just, it's not that I don't think they can't be bothered. They have something else, but like, this is tradition. We've done it, I was gonna say forever, at least as far as I can remember. I'm fairly certain, or I don't know exactly when it started, but I'm somewhat certain that it started possibly before my time, as in before I was born. So, yeah, that's the thing. That can't be it. Nope. Can that be it? Nope. This is so hard. It's, I might need to do this puzzle a little bit without you, as I said, because, ooh, they go together. They go together like rama. Probably shouldn't sing. Sorry about that. Sometimes I can't help it. I probably should. I like singing, but I'm not all that good at it. And that's okay. Not everyone can be good at everything. I ain't got no problem with that. It just, sometimes it comes out unintentionally. Truth be told, most of my talking comes out, not necessarily unintentionally, but a lot of it comes out without being thought about before it actually comes out. So sometimes I'm entertaining to listen to, in my own opinion, because a lot of random stuff comes out. And I'm still struggling with pain in my throat. Super annoying. I'm also still struggling with this puzzle. I can probably stop mentioning that because you heard it several times now. So, why? Yeah. I can't say I'm gonna stop complaining because, you know, it's human. Complaining is a human thing. We will continue forever to do that. That sounded like almost a little depressing, I guess. Ooh, not good. But it's part of life. And oh my lord, it is sun outside. It was a little bit of sun outside yesterday too. Before that, however, I haven't seen the sun in, it feels like forever. It's not actually forever, I know that, but it feels that way. Oh, that's not one of those. Oh my, how many of the weird ones are there? There are so many. Why? Why? You're not a weird one. Okay. How can I... And they're so weird, so it's hard to, like, figure out what I'm actually looking for. You're a weird one, too. But you're that way. How is all this gonna work? Oh, that one, too. And this one, and this one. Okay, most of them have some sort of weird shapes. I thought it was just a few here and there, but it's, like, everywhere. Like, for real. Okay, that doesn't actually have a weird shape. It just pretend. Oh, you have a weird shape. Oh, no. I have a feeling this puzzle has been used a lot. I mean, you can tell. Nothing sticks together and everything is, like, worn. Some of it is more worn out than other things. Oh, look, look. Can you even tell? You're so far away because I wanted you to see it all. Do you want me to, like, focus? I've been wondering about, let me know. Do you like this setup, or do you want to be, like, only seeing the picture or the puzzle? Because I think I can do that, but I don't know. I don't know how that was going to be, like, is it going to be any better? I have no idea. Let me know what you think, and I think I'm gonna let you go for now because, as I said, my throat is apparently still not fully happy with me. Still a little sore. I keep drinking tea with honey. It keeps not having quite the effect I would want, but you know, we all know you can't get everything you want, but you sometimes can get some of the things you want, so fingers crossed on that. So yeah, I, as usual, have not been looking at you. Wait, what? No, okay. Maybe I should just pick out all the weird shapes first, because it is a lot of them. Maybe that's the next thing I'm gonna look for, all the weird shapes. And I've started to ramble, so I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much for watching. And for the people that have subscribed, I really appreciate it. It is, you totally make my day when you do that. Subscribe, that is. And if you already are subscribed, you already made my day, so good on you. For me. Or something. You get what I mean. Anyway, I will pretend that I can stop rambling and babbling on and let you go. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And bye!